Good evening. My name is Ben Foltran, and this is the Groundview. This evening, I had the opportunity to interview Representative Candidate Aidan Bellerjeau and discuss her message, Who He Says He Is. At a fantastic time, and I hope you enjoyed our discussion just as much as I did on this segment of The Groundview.
Well, good evening, Aidan Bellerjeau. It's a pleasure to have you onto the ground view this evening. Could you please just give yourself a brief introduction?
Yes, hello, friends. My name is Aidan Bellerjeau, and I hail from the small town of Loxley, Alabama. I am 17 years old, and I started Team Pact at the age of 11 in the year 2018. So I've been in it for quite a while, but I absolutely love being a part of this ministry. And thank you guys so much for the opportunity to do this interview.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, could you please just kind of go into the inspiration for you running for representative this year?
Definitely. So it's a little bit of a long story, but I'll try and shorten it. So the Oklahoma State class rolls around, and I was staffing the class. And going into the week, I had basically told God no, that I was not going to be running. I had decided myself without talking to God first and saying, hey, like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to run? So I had basically told God no before I had even prayed about it and begun to ask him what he wanted me to do. So the Oklahoma State class rolls around, and some people on the class with me encouraged me to run. And that kind of opened my mind to it. And I began to pray about it and think about it. And as I was sitting with some students during elections during the week, I just began to get this excitement and this desire to run. And I remember when I was sitting there, I made the decision that yes, this year was the year that I was going to run. I felt the call to do it. And I remember opening the notes app on my phone and just simply writing who he says he is, which is my campaign message this year. And that was all I wrote down because I knew that that was the message that God wanted me to run with this year.
Very good. Well, you provided me with a very perfect segue. Would you like to get into your message this year for your campaign?
Definitely. So my message this year is who he says he is. It goes off of the scripture Hebrews 13:8, which says Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And my message comes from that scripture where often in trials and tribulations, we can lose sight of who God is. We can start to blame him for our circumstances. We can begin to come up with these reasons why he's not good based on our circumstances. There's a quote by Dan Ortland that says, perhaps Satan's greatest victory in our lives is not the sin in which we regularly indulge, but the dark thoughts of God's character and heart that cause us to go there in the first place and keep us cool towards him in the wake of it. So, in trials and tribulations, we need to cling to scripture and to what God says who's God character, the character of God that he says he is in the scriptures, and we need to cling to that.
Very good. Well, could you please just kind of get into the real world application of that and just kind of what that means to us in our day-to-day lives as we just kind of go through what we do?
Definitely. So, the real world application, something that I definitely try to do is each day as you spend time in the word and you study the character of God, to begin to ponder that and to really meditate on the character of God so that you know it well. When those trials and tribulations come about, you can cling to who God says he is, but to also pray and ask God to take the thoughts of him that you have and change those thoughts to the truth of who he truly is in the scriptures. So to ask him to change your thoughts and renew your thoughts of who he is in his character.
Very good. Well, of course, having an interpersonal relationship with God is very important for us as Christians, and knowing the character is, of course, a pivotal point to that. Now, could you please kind of, as for your campaign, get into why you chose the party you chose to run in?
Yes, so I'm running in the Perseverance Party, and I chose Perseverance because I agree with their stance on the issue of homelessness. I believe that homelessness is not an issue just on unemployment and that people can't find jobs or they're having trouble with finances. And those issues, I believe that there is a deeper root oftentimes, and that comes from mental illness. And I believe that that is the cause that and the issue that we need to be addressing first before we start helping them find housing and helping them find employment. We need to first address the root cause of it. And that is why I chose perseverance.
Very good. That I like how you thought through that very deeply instead of just kind of choosing a party at will. I like that a lot.
Thank
Now,
you.
as for your Teen Pact experience, is there any moment throughout any Teen Pact event that you've attended that just kind of sticks out to you as just special and memorable?
Definitely. So last year, my first year staffing a class, there was a student that accepted Jesus into their life for the first time. And that moment was just so special. Everyone reached their hands out. I was able to get on my hands and knees and just pray over that person as they accepted Jesus into their lives. And as that is always just such a special moment to be a part of, that I was there to experience someone accepting Jesus into their lives and how special that is. So that is definitely one moment that sticks out to me.
Very good. Of course, Teen Pact is an amazing ministry, and I can attest to that in having an experience not dissimilar from that, how powerful God can move at Teen Pact. It's truly amazing. Now, as we begin to close, are there any remarks that you would like to make for the Teen Pact Nation about your campaign or about your message or just anything really?
Yeah, so something that I would love to leave the Team Pack Nation with, especially as we are so close to heading into the NatCon week, is to go into the week giving it your all and give it 110% and to step out of your comfort zone, talk to new people, make new friends, do things out of the ordinary for you. Because truly, what you put into the week is what you're going to get out of the week. So if you want to have an amazing NatCon experience, give it your all. Go all in. Go completely all in, step out of your comfort zone and give it 110%, and you will get 110% out.
Very good. I definitely would agree with that. You get what you put out and possibly even more even.
Yeah.
Um, Now, I thank you for coming on to the Ground View this evening. I've had a pleasure talking with you. You just have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.